How do we create our experience of life? Why does it seem that some people are happier than others? Why do different people behave different ways in same situations than other people? So these are questions that a lot of us ponder every now and then. The thing is that, as I said, we do create our own experience of life. There are really no two people in the whole world that experience the life in the same way. So how is it? What are those things that affect how we experience our life? And how can we change that experience if we want to? Now, how it works really is that we collect information from the surrounding world around us. We use our five senses: what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we smell, what we taste. So we collect information. What happens then basically is that we form our perception, our interpretation of that data that we collect through our senses. And there's a huge system inside of us that kind of makes those perceptions and interpretations. And those interpretations and perceptions are based on a lot of things. We give meanings to all events that we experience. And those meanings are mainly based on our past experiences and what meanings we have given to those past experiences. I know it sounds quite complicated, and in a way it is, yet on the other hand, the process itself is, rather simple. And what affects on what meanings do we give to those past experiences? There are a lot of things. Basically, there are cultural differences, and what have we been taught as small kids? And also, when we were taught those things as we were kids, we made yet our own evaluations on them. And once we have given those meanings in the past to any event or the events in our lives, we start to look for the same or similar kind of events and pay attention to the similarities that appear. Our mind likes what is familiar, and we tend to look those familiar things in the world around us. And whatever is not that familiar, it is safe for us basically to not pay attention to those things and pay attention to those familiar things. And when we pay attention to the familiar things, we also think similar ways about them. Even if there are some differences in those similarities, we tend to pay attention to the similarities. We like being right. There are not really, when I ask people who really likes to be wrong, people don't like that. So we also look then proofs that what we already think is the correct way to think. Meaning that we look for proof that our perception and our interpretations are the correct ones we have made. And we tend to even fight against any opposite perceptions or interpretations. Really hard trying to prove that yes, we are right and the other person is wrong. So when two or more people are experiencing the same event in life, they all interpret the same event in different ways. And at the same time, in their own minds, really trying to prove that their opinion, their perception is the right one. And that's why we have these even wars around the world. Because people think differently about the same thing. And they all think that they are right. They all think that they have the truth available and the other people don't. So then all those things, they kind of form our beliefs, they form our values, what we really appreciate, what we feel that is important in this world. And then we believe, since we believe that we are right and so on, our beliefs color any perception that we have. Now, I said earlier that why is it that some people seem to be happy and some people seem to be maybe fearful or angry? And if you want, instead of being fearful, be happy, how do you do that? Well, it really is about changing your perception, changing your beliefs, maybe about your values. What do you really appreciate? It is all in your thoughts. So the basic thing is that when you change your thoughts, you start to change how you feel about those things, what's going on around you. And by that, you start to change your perceptions. In my book, Words of Wisdom, the first chapter here really deals with the experience of life. And I have also here a lot of quotes. And let me read you one of the quotes. This is from Richard Bandler and Owen Fitzpatrick. We as humans do not operate directly on the world. Each of us creates a representation of the world in which we live. That is, we create a map or model which we use to generate our behavior. Our representation of the world determines to a large degree what our experience of the world will be, how we will perceive the world, what choices we will see available to us as we live in the world. And that's pretty much in a nutshell the process of how we experience the life. In my other videos, I will explain different aspects of the experience of the world that we have, and also how you can really change your experience of the world and, in fact, change the experience of your life if you want to. So look at some other videos that I will post. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I hope you have found it very, very interesting and useful for you. Be well.